In all the days I've been around,
God, help me. That almighty God, help me. That almighty God, yeah, help me. That almighty, tell him.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another episode of AMC Yarns. As always, today, very blessed to have another guest here. Straight off the bat, Songy bro, how you doing, man?
Good, brother. Very good. Blessed to be here. Very happy. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah,
I'm at your new crib.
I know.
It's awesome.
Second episode in the...
In the new crib.
That's
What
it,
an honour.
man. In the
Yeah.
rumpus room. So we've had a big day. So how you feeling?
Hey, golf in the morning.
Yeah.
Very fun with the boys. We had your brother. We had
Yep.
Brandon. And a bit of a Scrabble. We had Jakey.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I got the cookies just.
You did. Just. I don't know about that. I think you smashed us today.
That's good fun, mate. And we've had a few good golf days, actually. So
Something we might talk about today, perhaps.
Yeah.
Talk about some of the golf escapade. Oh, I can't even say the right word. Adventures.
Adventures. That's a
Yeah.
good word.
So, no, very excited to have you. We've been talking about this for a while, eh?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, I didn't know you kind of did all this stuff, and then we were just chatting one day, and you were talking about it, and I was like, and you asked me, I was like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And I saw a few of the shows, and with Zach and everyone else, and they were good, man.
Yeah.
I sort of learned a lot about you, a little about other people and their faith, and just said, why not? I'm on a bit of a journey myself, and so if this sort of reaches out to anyone, then it's only positive, I think. So
That's it. No, super. Yeah, we're stoked to have you, mate. It's obviously still, working out the setup and, how to, it's all its early beginnings, but that's...
it's a great setup, ladies and gentlemen. I think you can see all this here. B-Town, you got Ollie G. I don't know who this is or this, but Outcast.
Yeah. Building it up slowly, eh?
It's amazing, man. It's great.
Nah, thanks, bro. It's a little bit about who I am. Obviously, whoever I interview, try to make it all about them. But this is a bit, of the almighty, got nature, and some of the ones you mentioned. So that's kind of the environment we're going for, and obviously want to build up the rumpus. Yeah. Golf simulator over there.
That's it. Got a bit of golf happening.
Well, it's not there yet, but it's the vision.
There's a bit of a putting green going on, so that's good. And then
very blessed to have.
You might have some rugby jerseys up here because you did Moses. So
watch
out for that episode.
Yeah, well, I reckon people will be watching this after they've seen that episode.
Okay, so
that's episode 4.
Hope you enjoyed that episode.
Yeah, just banking them up,
Yeah.
So this will be number 5 by the time it comes out, which is exciting. Starting
that's good
to get a bit of a roll going. So, but you just got back from a recent trip.
I was in Malaysia.
Yep.
I did. I was like a conference course type of situation, work, professional development, and it was pretty intensive. 3 days of like lectures, workshops, meeting people from all over the world, just talking about trauma, like sort of fractures related to bones.
Yep.
And it's kind of cool because you see all these people from different parts of the world where we do things slightly different, but we're all working in the best interest of our patients and sharing knowledge.
Yep.
And it's just lovely because we all, even though we speak different languages, but we actually, when we come to sort of orthopedics or bones and medicine, we actually speak pretty much the same language, and so sharing ideas amongst colleagues and peers, I think is amazing. The food there is amazing. So it was in Kuala Lumpur.
Yep.
And I advise anyone to go if they want to.
Yeah, just for the food.
Just for the food. If you want to put on, I think I probably put on about 3 kilos. So I was scared to weigh myself, but it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
And the food there is amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely hit it up. Have you been?
I've never been to Malaysia. I one time in Sydney had Malaysian food.
Yeah.
The big brother-in-law Eric got us onto it.
Oh yeah.
It's like not too dissimilar to Thai food, Like it reminded me a bit of that, but then it had some sort of different sort of curry flavors as well.
Yeah, I think, you got a bit of a sort of an Indian, Malay, Chinese sort of fusion.
Yeah.
It's so cool, man. Yeah, I loved it.
Some really good flavors for sure.
Yeah.
Interesting what you said before about straight off the bat. That's very insightful about, you know, with all these different people speaking different languages.
Yeah.
But then that's kind of the universal language that you're speaking about.
Yeah.
You know, the stuff that you specialize in.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my mates, IMD, shout out to him. He made a track recently talking about how that's a bit like hip hop.
Yeah.
How it doesn't matter what language like you're actually speaking in, but it's a universal language.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah, it's a dope track. Might even, you know, I love putting things here, you know, for people to know exactly what we're talking about.
Right here. Like and subscribe.
The classic.
Yeah.
Get it out. No, thank you, bro. It's really good to have you.
Do you ever, like, when you get into like a hip hop mode?
Yeah.
Like, because I've been to a few of your, I've been to one of your shows.
Yep.
And it was awesome. Like,
Thanks, bro.
But I was like, I love when you get into that mode where you're rapping.
Yep.
Do you ever like is there an Ollie G that like you sort of you put that Ollie G hat on and you turn into the rapper Ollie G?
Yeah, that's
kind of like.
That's a really good question. We're supposed to be interviewing you today,
Yeah,
mate.
sorry.
I've got all my questions ready to go. But no, it's a really good question. I mean, like, I think for me, my approach is actually to try to have as little separation between like who I am and I guess like, you know, people talk about it as like a street alias or alter ego, but I don't really go down that path of creating too much of that.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that, you know, even when I'm having a chat with someone or, you know, giving advice to a brother or taking it on, like it's kind of all coming from the same place. But then when the beat goes on, there is a distinct change, you know, like you've got to sort of get into it. Really, you know, it's, brings out that musical side.
Yeah.
And I love that about like, obviously the rapping part of hip hop, it's musical, but it's poetry and, you know, the two sort of colliding in a very sort of...
I loved it. Yeah. I was waiting for you because you did a teaching session for us, a sermon, like at our church, and I was waiting for a bit of rap to come out there, mate. Yeah, were you tempted to just kind of throw in a bit of rap? You know?
There's always, you know, I'll be writing some, you know, if I'm doing something like that, which is fairly rarely, you know, sometimes, you know, when you're dropping some, you know, spitting some facts, it's sort of just the two and two go hand in hand. So
I think we should bring that into the next sermon for sure.
Yeah, drop some bars. Well, you know, sometimes, you know, even Brandon will say something and I think, gee, that's a bar, you know, like a very quotable reference. So
very cool.
It'd be good to go back to the first century and, you know, maybe John the Baptist or Jesus was, you know.
I reckon he had a few bars.
Yeah. We know King David did. You know, Psalms is like my favourite album. You know, so
good songs there. Yeah.
No, I appreciate that, mate. But yeah, it's true, right? You know, universal language, and we're going to get into that a little bit later about your profession and sort of how you got there. But as always, I like to sort of just find out a bit more about, you know, where it all began for you.
Yep. So I grew up in Brisbane, so we actually grew up not too far from each other.
Same suburb.
Same
area?
Yeah, same suburb.
And
Chapel Hill represent.
Yeah, you know, the 4069. And you actually were born in Brisbane?
I was born in Korea, South Korea. And then I moved to Australia. We moved to Perth when we were I moved to Australia when I was 18 months old.
Wow.
And then I went from Perth to Brisbane pretty early, and then I did all sort of my primary school, high school in Brisbane, and that's where I sort of grew up, and that's where I had great upbringing, sort of good childhood, lots of good friends, and you know, Brisbane's a pretty lovely area. It
is, man. Brisbane's a beautiful place to grow up.
Yeah.
It really is.
Great sunshine, just good people. I had a good upbringing, so I played a lot of golf, went to a good school, and I was just very fortunate and blessed in my upbringing, and I try to give praise to like my parents and just like the community around me at the time that sort of gave me that upbringing, really, because I know that I mean we know of people ourselves who aren't so fortunate and they have very difficult upbringings, whether it's just sort of you know, even with their parents or just getting into sort of drugs and alcohol or whatever. But for me, at least until like high school, I was pretty fortunate to have all the opportunities. If I didn't really do something, it would have been off on my own failures, not from any opportunity that I didn't have. So yeah, I grew up in Brisbane. I played a lot of golf, and that's what we were sort of alluding to earlier.
Yeah.
And had a lot of good opportunities there to represent my state, which I'm very thankful for. And I thought I was going to sort of go all the way with it, but didn't really work out. And then I'm fortunate enough to have gotten good enough grades to get into medicine, and then did medicine.
Yeah.
And then did medicine in Newcastle, so that was down south. So I crossed the border, but I still stayed a strong allegiance to the Maroons.
Come on.
And still am. And shout out to the Maroons 2025, great series win.
Really good, eh?
Yeah, really good. We should touch on that later.
Yeah, seriously, I had a question in for that.
But and then did med school in Newcastle. Sort of did some time working as a junior doctor in Sydney and sort of some rural hospitals around New South Wales. And then I was fortunate enough to get onto a specialised, like a program to specialise to get into orthopaedics, to become an orthopaedic specialist, which I'm on now. And that's what brought me to Adelaide, because just the training regime, some of the topics you have to cover means you have to sort of travel to different hospitals to get to the hospitals that specialise in those areas. So that's what's brought me here. And that's basically sort of the short version of my life so far.
Yeah. No, thank you for sharing, bro. I really appreciate that. And obviously, it's pretty cool as well, that you got those Korean roots.
Yeah. Very proud of the Korean roots. It's interesting growing up as a Korean Australian or Australian Korean. I don't know which way you say it. But my parents are both Korean, but they're both Australian as well.
Yeah.
And they sort of instilled in me Korean values, I'd say, but also were open to me having lots of Australian friends, and they also fell in love with Australian culture and embraced it themselves, and have a lot of Australian friends themselves. Yeah. Big part of the Korean culture, is there's a big portion of Koreans that are Christian as well. So I grew up in a Korean Christian church, and then that's sort of how I sort of my Korean roots. It's interestingly sort of play hand in hand with my Christian values as well. So but I love Korean culture. I love Korean food.
Oh yeah, come on.
I miss it a little bit. There's some good restaurants around here that I've hit up, but I miss Mum's cooking. Shout out to my mum.
Come on.
And shout out to Dad as well. He's been cooking well lately. And
come on.
And it's just shout out to both of you for being good parents. Actually, thank you. I was very blessed.
No, I love to hear that, man. And like. It's great. It's a hard thing, parenting. Obviously, I'm super early days.
Man,
but
I could imagine how hard.
You can look, knowing what we can be like, and knowing our parents handled us and loved us in our highest and our low moments. And even what you say, like Korean Australian or Australian Korean, like I guess it's a pretty interesting question nowadays. Like, what's an Australian?
It's a great question.
You've got the original Aboriginal people.
Absolutely.
You've got all sorts of Anglo sort of Europeans that have been here for a good chunk.
Yeah.
But then there was Chinese people coming out in the gold rush.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Here in Adelaide, there's a huge Mediterranean culture that's been here for a while, like 2, 3, 4 generations.
Yeah.
So, I think it's, sometimes we look at the differences too much, and there is always going to be issues. Of course there's going to be people that come here and don't mix in as well, but at the end of the day, like, you know, by the sounds of it, like, you know, by you coming here, like, you've embraced it, but also kept what's special and important to you about being Korean.
Yeah.
And like, that's awesome. Like my wife as well. Like, you know, people always ask her, "Oh, where are you from?" She's like, "I'm Australian."
Yeah.
So she might not look to what some people think is Australian, but you know, when we're looking all different types now, and you know, you look at our basketball, our athletics team, there's African guys, so
absolutely.
There's all different type of, and I've heard people say, you know, the term African American rolls off the tongue real easy.
Yeah.
But even like Gout, who's from Brisbane as
Aussie,
well,
Aussie boy,
he says, "Oh yeah, I'm African Australian," and that's starting to roll off the tongue.
Is
so
that right? Awesome. It's so good.
Yeah,
So good.
that's what this place is all about. It's in our national anthem, and it's pretty cool that we can actually have access to not just the food but the people, and you know, learn a lot about what comes in, and then that's actually what it's all about here. You know, and that's so cool, man. That and I think Brisbane especially, like obviously I've learned a bit more about what happens down here, but growing up in Brisbane, it's so multicultural.
Oh yeah,
and I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I reckon Australia's got to be one of the most multicultural places in the world that I've travelled to. Yeah. Fortunate to travel lots of places, and I'd say it's definitely one of the most multicultural places. And I think that we got to make sure we embrace that, I think, and take the positives out of everyone's culture. Indigenous Australian culture, you know, white Australian culture, or just like Mediterranean, Asian, everything. Because every different culture, like, you know, there's good things about all cultures that we can learn off. And so
everybody brings something cool and interesting to the table.
Absolutely.
And I mean, like especially for me, like I'm super glad that there's a Polynesian presence here, because a lot of my friends and family growing up, and then now my wife and my son. And so he'll represent, you know, just who he is.
Absolutely.
You know, I think it's up to each person to find out what that is. I think if you try to run too far one way or the other, and meeting you, like it's so obvious that you're like one of the most. It sounds bad to say, but I'm like, you're so Aussie. But then I'm like, why would you even question it? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just it's one of those things. Like, you just are who you are, but you've got that cool, you know, heritage as well. That is a part of who you are. So, it's really good, man. And I thought it was cool that that day we were playing poker. And then you and Damo were like, just met each other. And you're both like Aussie Asians with, you know, and he's like, it's Songy and Fongy, you know what I mean? But like, but he had the Sydney style, you had the Brizzy style.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely. That was a great night. And by the end of it, there was so much banter. We were just paying each other out as Australians too. But no, it was great. Like, I reckon Josiah is going to be like, I think he's going to have strong Polynesian roots still, like, because you can just see it in your house. Like, you know, you've got all those Polynesian sort of like sculptures and things going on. And
a few weapons.
I can tell you that there's a pride there, which is a good thing when it comes to your culture.
Yeah.
Like, and I hope I'd never lose my. Like, I won't ever lose my pride in being Korean, because that's who I am, and it's good to be proud of where you're from. So
absolutely, and like when you walk in the door, it was a wedding gift actually from my auntie who married a Tongan guy. So I think she, being you know, marrying into that Polynesian culture as well, she gave us that carving that you mentioned, and that actually says "Ainga Alofa," which is like family love.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a huge part of like me and Tamara, and now Josiah's like, you know, the perfect, I guess, representation of us. You know,
absolutely.
He has all of that, our heritage. You know, and even myself, like, you know, my granddad's from Canada.
You got like Irish background in you. I was talking to your mum the other night, and Scottish as well. Maybe a bit of English, and then maybe some Viking as well.
Absolutely. So
there you go.
You know, and it's kind of cool because no matter how distant it is, like even my great-grandson, he might only be, you know, a part Samoan, or maybe Josiah marries who knows? It could be a Polynesian, it could be anyone, but you don't lose that. Like, you know, I'm a quarter Canadian and Josiah's an eighth, but as long as I keep telling those stories to him and help, and hey, your granddad did this and did that and played ice hockey, and stay in touch with it, you know, and it's cool learning about who we are, and No, I think it's
learning your story, because there's stories from, you know, past generations of that. Like we went on a trip to Korea in 2022.
Yeah.
And there was like, I don't know why, I might have been told these stories earlier when I was younger, but I felt like I was hearing them for the first time. But we went to this place where it's got all our, like, my sort of forefathers' ashes and stuff like that. Yeah, and Dad was telling me these stories about each and every one, and I was just amazed. And like, yeah, it's I think you got to tell those stories, like otherwise they get lost, and you got to keep telling them generation after generation. And no, I think you're a good storyteller, so Josiah's going to have some good stories.
So's my mum. He's going to have it coming from all angles.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome, man. And you kind of touched on it earlier, but obviously wanted to really learn from you that part of your story about where, and you mentioned how you did obviously go into medicine, but then golf was this big thing in your life for a number of years. So tell us a bit more about that, I guess, that intersection and where it got to, and you know, how that became a choice, you know, for you.
So I was really into golf since I was probably about 9 or 10 years old, and I was actually quite a small kid growing up, but golf you could actually go all right without you didn't need to be super powerful. And it was one of the sports that I just for whatever reason had the knack of like could hit the ball pretty well. Around the greens I was pretty good, and I had sort of all this positive encouragement going forward, and made all these sort of junior teams and whatnot, and then I thought I was like, it became an obsession for a while, and I was playing it every single day, practicing every single day, and I loved it, especially when I was a junior. And then after high school, I took a year. I said, look, I'm going to give it a shot. And I took a year off.
Wow.
I didn't go to uni or anything, and I think the change of, I think I was still quite immature, because we finished high school when we were 17. And I didn't have a lot of structure, and so I think trying to go from really enjoying golf and being obsessed by it and enjoying and playing well, to go into, let's turn this into a profession. Something that's gonna, you know you're gonna need to make money from. To make a livelihood, and it's a lot of pressure that came with that. And I don't think I handled it very well. My performance dropped, and so it just became into a little bit of a vicious cycle, because then you almost try harder sometimes to like, oh, what's going wrong? Like, you know, you work on your swing, and gotta get it better. And some of my like coaches were like, just chill out, just, you know, take it easy, and do this or that. But I don't think I had the maturity to really listen to them. And I think and probably just ultimately I probably wasn't good enough as well. And but it was one of those things I had to do, because if I didn't do it, I think I'd always be looking back and regretting not giving it a shot. I always sometimes still dream maybe I'll give it another shot, but like, I think I'm obviously past that now, but occasionally a little thing comes into my brain. And so it got really to the point where I was getting I was hating golf. Like I actually just got to the point where I absolutely hated it. And then we kind of sat down with Dad, and we're just like, something's not going right here. And you know, you've still got an opportunity to do whatever you want in your life. You're still so young. Sometimes you catastrophize things when you're that age. And then I was like, okay, well, I think I just got to make a change. I got pretty good grades. Why not give, like, I had always had a little bit of an inkling that, I'd like to be a doctor. Like in my yearbook, it's like, when I was in primary school, it was like, I'll be a doctor or an astronaut. And I don't know, I just always thought I'd be Dad was an engineer, so I was like, I could be an engineer, but I'll give medicine a shot.
Yeah.
And then I got in, and and then my life kind of sort of focus turned around quite heavily to medicine, and I just gave up golf. Just didn't really play much. Every now and then I'd play.
Yeah.
And maybe someone would hear about my golf and want to play, and I'd play. But I never really played it competitively ever since then. And then
so all in all, because obviously when you're in grade 12, were you still on like a national team at that point?
I was. I never made a national team.
Okay.
But I was in a state team. So I was in the state junior team, and then
And so you'd compete at like national level.
Yeah, compete at a national level.
Yeah.
So it was a privilege being in those teams, because they sort of send you around the country, and you get to play different tournaments. That
would have been sick.
Lots of good memories. I still keep in touch with a lot of the boys, and
couple of big names in that.
Yeah, so Jason Day was a couple of years older than me, but like when I was in the junior squad, there's like junior squad, then there's like junior development teams, and then there's like the state junior team.
Yep.
And then there's kind of like the open state squad.
Yep.
And like the Colts as well, around there. But Jason was a part of all of that, and it was cool. We went to. It was just like, you get to like room with each other, or sort of like be in the same billeted house as each other, and just you make some good friendships. And Jason was big name. He sort of went off and made it really big. And he's
because he's still like top 20, isn't he?
I think he's up there.
Yeah.
He's still. I don't know what the whole Live Golf's done with the official rankings.
It has thrown a bit of a spanner in the works, hasn't it?
He's not part of Live yet, or I don't know what his views are on that, but he's up there for sure. He's still playing majors. He's still an excellent golfer. Like he's still, I think he'll win another couple of majors still. Like he's a phenomenal golfer, and that's the thing. Like there were lots of great golfers, even when we were juniors, and so there was a fella that was younger than me, and he beat Jason in the national junior comp.
Oh wow!
Yeah, in a playoff.
Was his name Cam Smith or?
No. Oh well, yeah. So he was even younger than us.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing Cam a few times running around. He didn't think much of him because he was pretty small back then.
Yeah.
But he obviously showed me wrong.
Because he's a Brizzy boy too, eh?
Yeah, he's a Brizzy boy. But the other kid, his name was, he's I won't say his full name because I don't want to embarrass him, but his first name was Eagle. And he was a gun. He was a gun.
Eagle?
Yeah, that was his first. Shout out Eagle if you're watching this. But he was a legend of a kid. But that's the thing with golf is there's so many good golfers, and not all of us can make it. It's kind of like tennis or other sports. There's when you get to the top level, you're talking 0.01% of who really get up there. And
well, even the stats of like to break 90, break 80, break 70.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it's like way less than 1% break 70. And then it's like, I think only like 3 or 4% of players will break 80.
Yeah.
And you think of how many people play golf.
Yeah.
That's not many.
That's crazy. And even on tour, so Jason is he's up there. But then there's other really good guys who are still on tour, but they're kind of
just making the cut.
Just like making the cut, like making a good living, but not signing. I don't know how many zeros Jason has on his contracts, but they're if you look at the Live Golf ones, that like Cam Smith, there's lots of zeros behind that contract. But but it was good hanging out with Jason. He was a bit older, so we weren't super close, and we were never in the same team, but we were in the same squads and
rubbing shoulders. Someone you look up to,
and looked up to him, and he had other friends as well, that were in the same junior golf club as me that became good friends of mine. I haven't talked to them in years, but
what was it? Your club?
Indooroopilly Golf Club.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my home club. I played a little bit at Brisbane Golf Club as well. That was a great club. But Indooroopilly is probably my the one I played the most at. Yeah.
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 And then so in your year after school, what did that entail? Like trying to make it professionally? Like were you playing a lot of comps or?
Yeah, so I think there's different ways you can do it, but you sort of want to, I guess, you can go to college, like say in the States. I was going to go to college in the States, but when the coach come down, I didn't play that well.
Oh yeah.
And then he didn't offer me a full ride, so I couldn't really go. But if I was getting a full ride, I might have gone to the States. And then so you can go that way, and that's probably, I still think in my head that's probably the best way to do it, and then stay in that sort of American system, play the college tournaments, and then you can go to Q school and try to qualify to get your card to play. Yeah. Otherwise, you can stay in Australia and you can try to make further teams, like sort of make your Colts and your Open teams, make your national teams. Yeah. And then that way you get exposure to tournaments around the world. Yeah. In Australia, you'll have to play lots of tournaments in Australia as well. Yeah. So the way to make those teams is basically to play well in the tournaments in Australia, the amateur tournaments, the big ones, and make those teams, and then either get sort of financial backing to go to Q school, and you can choose from Europe, Asia, America, Australia. But most people want to go overseas to do those Q schools and get that sort of make a bit of a name for themselves in the amateur scene and get a bit of financial backing to go do those Q schools to get their cards. So there's obviously a few different pathways. Yeah. It's really interesting hearing you talk about this because one of the guys I follow super closely, probably my favorite YouTuber, golf YouTuber, is Grant Horvath. Yeah. And he had a super similar experience to you, but obviously he was in America, so he was able just to go straight to college. Yeah. And he talks about it where like he wasn't enjoying golf anymore. The pressure, not quite playing as well. He had apparently his first year was really good, and then he didn't really back it up, and then lost the love for it. Yeah. And then obviously through YouTube, just the other day, he actually declined to play on the PGA Tour. Yeah, right. Because they said that he couldn't film his rounds. So that's a bit of a controversial issue at the moment. Some people are giving him a little bit of hate for that, even though for the most part, I think everyone loves that guy. Yeah. Big smile, and I think I've seen a few of his videos, and he's a good golfer.
Yeah,
he's a great golfer.
And he's playing like his doubles partner is Phil Mickelson. And they play doubles against Bryson DeChambeau, John Rahm, all these guys.
GOAT level players.
Yeah. So he's had a lesson with Tiger he played around with Scotty Scheffler. So the guy is sponsored by TaylorMade, and so who knows? Like maybe if you were in your early 20s right now, maybe you'd find more creative ways to go about your golf and enjoy it without the pressure. Who knows?
It's different back then because there's no social media back then, and there's no real outlet to express your sort of love for golf in an easy way that could be super widespread. But maybe I would have back then if it was. I don't know. It's a good question.
I think what's happening. This is just my personal opinion, but as a fan, like seeing what's happening with Liv. Yeah. You've got obviously the traditional way that golf's been viewed by the whole world, very upper class. Yeah. You got to dress a certain way, speak a certain way. And even guys like DeChambeau, certain guys have come in and copped a fair bit of criticism just for being themselves. Yeah. And then Liv kind of comes in and, when I've put Liv on now, you've got the Crushers and these different teams and it almost looks like an NFL sort of style logo. Yeah.
Sort of Americanized a bit. Yeah.
And taken away that sort of upper class vibe and made it more inclusive.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Even in Happy Gilmore, I know it's an absolute, it's a joke. It's a real comedy, but like how they're like, oh, Happy Gilmore's bringing in a different crowd.
They definitely are.
Yeah. And that's happening now. And then I think with YouTube golf, one of the guys that Grant plays with is Wesley Bryan, who was on the PGA Tour. He got kicked off the tour for making videos with Grant. And now he's just like, well, we're just going to go all out on the YouTube, you know?
Yeah, right.
And he's such a good player.
Yeah.
And they just go out and have so much fun.
Yeah.
You know, right now they're in Ireland playing on where the British Open's about to be before everyone else does.
Yeah.
Filming it, you know, obviously making a good, and they've got their brands, you know, so obviously one of the boys we played with today, TK, he does a bit of content.
Loves it, doesn't he?
Yeah. And obviously we've done a few little snippets, you know, some pretty memorable moments in our games that we've managed to sneak in while you've been here.
Golf's definitely catching on to a younger crowd nowadays, more youthful crowd, and I reckon Liv's done a pretty good job as well in terms of like that was I think part of their motto, like when I heard Greg Norman speak earlier, that and you go to, like, I went to Adelaide Live, that was amazing, like the way they organised that was great, and I've never been to having been to lots of golf tournaments my whole life, and as a spectator as well, and just like the way they do it is so fun. And it was distinctly different walking around there to walking around to some other tournaments, and I felt like it was a much more youthful crowd, a different crowd too, and
because it's a great game. It doesn't need to just be for upper class whoever, you know. And I think it's funny because, like, even, you know, looking back on some of the, you know, the classic clips of Tiger, you know, and he hits a great shot, and then there's the hooligans going, "Light the candle!" Like, they've been trying to contain that out of the game, you know, but they can't do it anymore. And there's this little bit of a divide, but I think it's just going to break wide open, and the guys that stick to the traditional, you know, I think that will never lose its prestige, but I think
they'll be there always, but there's no reason why it can't widen out to cater to all these other people too. Yeah. And so I'm excited for that.
I mean, personally, like, you know, I've been loving getting into golf more, especially the last year or two. Slowly been improving, still very much just...
you've been getting better.
That's from you, that's huge praise.
No, you've been getting good.
Well, I think my handicap's low 20s now, so if that's point of reference, but yeah, you know, have my moments. But to be honest, like, I love making content for my hip hop. I love doing this. You know, we filmed a few clips. Obviously, if you look back at the Zach episode, there was a few funny moments that we put up there.
Yeah, golf on that. That was awesome.
But I'd love to start incorporating it, you know, showing more clips, obviously just on the pod. But, you know, me and TK spoke today and said, we're going to go play a hole and blog it. And mate, if you come back down for a weekend, it'd be good to have you, mate, because even today it was like we all just sat back and watched you play. You're a very humble guy, all right? This guy is not going to, you know, blow his own trumpet, let's be honest. But even today, like, watching you play, better conditions than last time we played Regency. You know, you're smoking your drives, hitting really good shots with your iron. And obviously, you mentioned earlier, you haven't lost those hands around the green. So...
yeah, I think I just got lucky today, maybe.
Oh, come on.
No, it was good fun. Yeah, it was good fun. Like, it's good fun little track. Hit a few good shots and hit a few bad ones too, but you know, that's golf, and made a few birdies. So it was good fun. So
mate,
it was good.
That's what I thought about today. You know, coming into this, I knew we'd have a little bit of a chat about golf. But you do making birdies look easy. You know, us boys, the four of us will go play Regency or wherever, the North Course. And it's like, if one of us gets a birdie on the course like that, we're hyped. But sometimes with you, you know, being so consistent, you're either just parring everything, and then, you know, when you get your opportunities, you know, you putt really well as well. So
I'd love to know how many birdies Jason would make on that. He would make too many. He'd make a few eagles as well, I reckon.
When you know, these guys, like, they could probably drive a lot of the greens, you know, on
there's levels,
short fours.
They get it so long these days. Like, that's even in the last 15 years, golf, like, it's weird because I haven't been following it closely. But every now and then I'll get into it a little bit. It astounds me how much it's changed, because I might get into it every 3 to 5 years. But each 3 to 5 years, the technology and everything and the game has changed. You watch it like on telly, and they're playing a different game, and it really has turned into a power game. And the way they're getting their drives out there, how straight they're hitting it, like it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And everyone's doing it, and they've still got good short game too. So it's just amazing. Yeah, it's like
even Bryson, he's like bizarre.
An athlete, Bryson.
Yeah,
Like,
big guy. Obviously, you know, he came second in the world driving comp. But then on the other hand, I don't know if you knew this, but all his irons are the same length.
yeah, same length irons.
Yeah. So he has a very different style to everybody else,
Very.
but has like a dialed wedge game.
Yeah, I don't know how that guy's brain works because I don't think there's many people on tour that use same length clubs, but he's one of them. And yeah, I couldn't do it. But
Yeah.
I guess it works out well. You use the same swing for each club, and you just have a dialed in distance.
Yeah.
And all these irons are a bit. He doesn't really. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm probably just making it up at this point. But
Go for it.
I think we'll just go along with it. But I think he doesn't focus too much on the number and the distance. He just focuses on the distance more, and he's just like, this is the iron I need to hit a distance at this sort of level, and like this is a swing I need to hit it at this distance. So he's all trying to get the gapping the same, and using the least amount of he's trying to minimize his variables. So have the same swing for the one iron, but that are all the one length, but they're different lofts and stuff, so they get at different distances. So that's all he needs to focus on. He's a pretty clever guy, but
a scientist.
Yeah,
that's what they used to call him.
Don't think there's many like that on tour though that are using the one club, but he's won a major, so
I think he did the US Open twice, hasn't he?
Yeah, I don't actually remember
I'm pretty sure he's won that twice, and then that's it.
Yeah, we'll say that one.
And then he came really close against Rory in the last one.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, dropped away on the last day, but now with
how good was Rory's win?
Yeah, a few months ago, but still so crazy.
I thought it was going to happen again, where it's just going to drop off, but he hung in there. I was so happy for him because he kind of deserved that. He'd been getting hammered in the media as well. And
so he's world number 2, isn't he? I'm pretty sure he's behind Scheffler.
I think Scheffler would be 1.
And then he's 2 or 3.
These
guys, man, they're all superstars. They've all got a lot of fans.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about golf. It's, people talk about soccer being the worldwide game, but so is golf.
Yeah, it's played around the world.
Yeah.
I think soccer would take the cake though, but in terms of popularity, but easily. But golf's a worldwide game, that's for sure. Everywhere you go in the world, there's people playing golf. So
just to sort of, I guess, wrap that one up. Have you got a good golf story from all your years playing? And...
That was one of the questions, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I thought about that, and I was like, I don't have one single moment, but I think I just love being on a team.
Yep.
And the camaraderie we got just hanging out together on a team was amazing. Particularly those state teams, because it's competitive to get into them, and once you get in, you're like, but then you sort of you're in them with guys that you've been competing with, but yet you're also like brothers, and so it's just the going out to dinners together and just talking about golf and life, and it was and a lot of us are still friends. We keep.
That's great.
Yeah, we sort of at least we'll keep in contact on social media. But Chris, one of my mates, we went to live golf together this year, so
sick.
We still see each other, and
is he still a pretty handy player too?
I reckon they all would be. I think the muscle memory sort of hangs around. I think a lot of them still play.
Yeah.
But not many of them have. I think one of them's on the Aussie tour. I think Nizzy's on the Aussie tour still. And and then there were guys that you become friends with the other states. So we were mates with the New South Wales boys, even though we hate the Blues here. But you become friends with people from other states, and
keep up with what they're doing and stuff.
Yeah, some of those boys are still on tour. I think Timmy still plays a bit on the Aussie tour. He moved up to Queensland, and yeah, so you still, I keep a tab on them, but and yeah, I don't really have one memory, but just being part of like those teams was a good memory. Yeah.
Well, the couple that stand out for me, I reckon you've only been here for 6 months, and I reckon we've gotten out 4 or 5 times, which has been really cool to play with you. Probably the first one is the first time I ever saw you shank a tee box was when we were playing at North Adelaide. I mean, a shank for him, but for us, probably a half decent shot. I think he hit like a 4-iron and it just went out and then swung left, and then you were stuck behind these massive trees. And then me and Jake sort of was, a bit shorter in the fairway, and then we're sort of making our way over to the green, and then you took your shot, and you like these trees were massive, like 30-meter trees, like the ones at North Adelaide. Wish I had a video of this, but I think I remember you saying you hit like I think it was either a 9-iron or a pitching wedge, about 130 meters over these trees, and you just stuck it, 3 or 4 foot from the pin. Yeah. And then you just walk out casually.
Was that the one where you're like, I didn't see it, but I heard it? And then I saw it land?
Well, I heard you hit it, and then I like saw it like maybe just a glimpse, and then I lost it, and then I was just like waiting, and then just douche right next to the pin.
I remember that. Yeah, that was good. That was a good.
But that to me, I was like, all right, that's his first bad shot, and then look at the recovery. So that was, and then a couple of other ones was when we played Regency in the wet the first time. Yeah. There's a long par 5 there at Regency, and out of us boys, like, I've never even parred it, to be honest. Like today I had a chance when we went through the second 9, and I bogeyed it, and I was like, oh, that's all right. It's a tough hole because it's a huge green, and it's got a bunker that guards it most of the time. And then, we might play a clip right here, right now.
Oh, beauty. Oh. Oh. Jeez. Oh my goodness. Woo-hoo-hoo! Brother. Lovely. Beautiful birdie, mate.
Of you birding it, first try in the wet.
Yeah. Was that the flop?
Yeah, you flopped it over the bunker.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And then still a decent 5-6 footer, I think, from memory.
Yeah, that wasn't like super close. Yeah.
Yeah.
And hold it, luckily. Yeah.
And then probably the last funny memory is when we played the par 3 course at North Adelaide. Yeah. And took you a minute or two to adjust. But once you, obviously, 60 to 150 meters, all the par 3s, and most of them are sort of 70 to 80. Yeah. And then you started just sticking a few right next to the pin. Yeah. And one in particular where we couldn't actually see because there's quite a big hill in the mini fairway. I said it was pretty good, and you were like, oh, I'm not too sure. And then we look over the hill, and you're like,
oh, that could be good. That could be in. Let's go. That was nice. Marky's put it right next to the hole. Might need to take your time with this putt, brother.
Think it was gonna be that close.
I had a feeling. Beauty, Songy. Love that. That was a nice.
Centimeters away from a hole in one, which you would have said wouldn't have counted, but
Yeah, I don't think they count. But you got to hit a full shot.
That's it.
To count, yeah.
Still pretty. It would have been cool though.
Yeah.
It's just been really cool, man. And on behalf of, I guess, the Adelaide the boys that all play, the crew. Just you coming out and playing with us, we've loved it, mate, and it's been really cool. So
thank you. I've loved it as well. It's been just good hanging out, to be honest. And, thanks for dragging me out. I appreciate it. Yeah.
And I reckon today we may have caused a slight traffic jam at Regency, playing 6 of us and playing scramble in pairs. But it was worth it. Just pushing through.
Yeah.
I think when we came back past the clubhouse on the 4th or 5th, I looked over and I was like, I think it's sort of a little bit of a ripple effect.
Yeah, I think I was worried one of those boys was going to say something to the pro shop, but we got lucky.
It was funny because when you left, you just played 9 today, but when me, Jake, and TK went through for the second 9, there was a guy from the pro shop driving around, and we were like, "Oh, what's this?" And then he came up
he was
and
marshalling.
He was marshalling, but he was asking if anyone had hit it onto South Road. So there's that long 4 with the bunkers, and then there's a net, and then there's the highway right there.
Yeah, there's a road. Yeah.
I think someone had hit a ball, hit a car.
Oof.
So. And then I have to roast TK because he's like, yeah, man, beginners, they shouldn't be hitting their drives. And then he hit one right into the net, and we're like, hey.
Wasn't far off.
You're lucky that net's there, TK. But nah, he played really well today, actually.
Yeah, he did. He hit a few good shots, didn't he?
I didn't know this, but he actually played an amateur tournament in Fiji a couple of months ago.
Is that right?
And he came 4th.
Oh, right.
So
there you go.
Yeah, reckons he played his best golf. So shout out to TK. Hopefully get a video in with him soon. And when you visit, mate, that's going to be a video locked in for sure.
Yeah, no, I can do that.
We'll just sit back and watch you, mate. So
easy.
Yeah, but moving on, mate. Like obviously,
that felt good. We should just keep that coming. Any other shots?
Hey, if you think about it, obviously. The fact that your golf career, ended on a bit of a sour note, and obviously going into medicine and going into what you do now is awesome. Yeah. So it all worked out well.
Yeah, definitely worked out well.
But you haven't lost it, a decade later, and you're not at the range every day. You probably only play every couple of months, and you still get around like a scratch golfer. Like, it must be pretty good.
Don't know about that, but it's sometimes you get lucky. No, it's been good. I think it was kind of a sour note, but also it was good growth, like good maturity, and I think it happens. Everything happens for a reason.
Yep.
And wasn't meant to be, but big part of my life, and I've gotten the love back for it now. Like I don't think I ever really lost it. It was just like a little bit of a bad breakup. You know what I mean? And but I don't think I did hate it, I guess, but I don't think I lost the love completely.
Yeah.
So but worked out well in the end.
I think a lot of athletes feel like that. There's the sport, like completely organic, just you out there playing, and then there's all the pressure and trying to. They're 2 different things, aren't they?
Yeah, there's a huge mental component to it. Like you can get someone who just stripes it on the range and we're good on the putting green and just hole putts non-stop. But come to a tournament time, bit of pressure, something's going on in life, whatever, can't really focus, then it can just all fall apart.
Yeah.
And that's a huge side of it. And I think even in footy, even in tennis, all of that is such a big factor. You got loads of guys out there with loads of talent who work hard but just can't get the job done. And I think you have to have the right support around you, but you also yourself have to be pretty mature in how you approach it. And even then, it doesn't work out for everyone. Like it's less than 1% of people, easily less than 1% of people who try athletic sports or at an elite level who make it. So it just is what it is.
Yeah. And there's plenty of people out there that, like you say, have the talent, have the tools, but having the physical and matching it with the mental and
big part
attitude and sometimes
sometimes a bit of luck as
yeah
well.
Seriously,
like you got to get lucky with injuries as well. Like that's a big thing we didn't mention, but
there's plenty of variables.
Plenty of variables.
And speaking of injuries, that's more where your craft is now. So you had good hands on the golf. We talked about around the greens, and you got to have good hands for what you do now. So it's all paid off in the long run.
No, I play play different. Yeah, like I use my hands in a different way now.
Yeah.
But I would say you want to have good hands if you're doing surgery. Like I think there's an element where you can practice a lot of what you do, and so for people out there who still want to be surgeons, there's still plenty of good surgeons who gone through a lot of practice, and but you want to have some confidence with your hands as well. And so I was very fortunate that I can still use my hands the way I do, and and maybe some of that, I don't know, athletic ability sort of rubbed off into my profession now, and no, it's good.
And just for people that may not know, what is an orthopaedic surgeon?
So it's like a bone. It's like anything to do with bones, basically.
Yep.
So we work on broken bones, bones with arthritis, bones with certain deformities. It's muscles as well, muscles and tendons and ligaments, and mostly in the upper limbs, lower limbs, spine, pelvis. That's where anything to do with those bones. If you've broken them or injured them, or the muscles surrounding it, then it's my job to sort of manage those, and whether that be with an operation or without an operation, or medically, that's an orthopaedic surgeon. I'm not an orthopaedic surgeon yet, but I'm specialising. So hopefully, in 3 years, I think. Not hopefully. I've been trying to say, be more positive in the way you talk. So in 3 years' time, I'll be an orthopaedic surgeon, I think.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah,
it's that balance of still wanting it to be in God's hands.
That's right.
He shows
God
you and
willing.
leads you.
Exactly.
But it looks that way, and by all accounts, you're doing a great job. And you showed me a couple of pictures of what it can look like, and it's brutal, mate. Bones exposed, and people obviously, when stuff like that happens, really gnarly injuries. You're in a very vulnerable state, a lot of pain, very traumatic, which is, you spoke about the trauma earlier. And I think some of my experiences, like I've broken a couple of bones, and it's great to have someone who's obviously capable and trained to do the job. But the heart, and also, the look, when you're looking for help in those moments, I think it says a lot about you as a person as well, the heart that you have, that in those moments, they're looking for that, they need the healing, really, and the practice of a surgery or whatever it is. And not only do you know how to do it, but, you do it, I guess, with, a lot of love and compassion.
Well, I think it's a privilege to be in a position where you can help someone like that. Like and this could be some of the worst things that have happened to their lives, and so their livelihood, their life in some instances, their quality of life on a sort of day-to-day level.
Sporting career is a big one.
Sporting careers, or just to walk again, or walk pain-free.
There's more to life than just sport. Hey, quality of life.
So, and it's such a privilege to be in a position where we can help someone, and so I think the patients deserve our full kind of attention and our full sort of they've entrusted us to take care of them, so we have to do to the best of our abilities, train ourselves to have the right knowledge, the right skill, to be able to treat them in a fashion that they deserve, like you would treat a family member, really. And so it is a privilege, and it can be hard work and stressful at times, because if you make a mistake, you can impact someone's life negatively. But I think that's why they make it such a hard sort of process to train and to become a surgeon. And but we owe it to our patients, and I think that's sort of also, from my respects, I think I owe it to my family, to God, to everyone who's given me sort of an opportunity to get to a level like this, to be able to help people, to be a doctor.
Yeah.
It's not just surgeons, it's doctors as well. And, you know, so I think I owe it to them to really give it my best shot, to make sure that they get their best shot.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard. Like sometimes you just want to, I don't know, go out with your mates and hang out or something. And sometimes you just need to do that to have the right balance.
Yeah.
And I think if you don't have the right balance, sometimes you don't perform well at work either. So it's not all about sort of study and hit the books and go to all the courses in the world. And it's a bit of a balance there too.
Yeah.
But no, it's I'm thankful for the opportunities that I have, and I hope I can do my patients proud.
Yeah. Awesome, bro. And obviously, you know, you touched on it earlier, like you grew up in a Christian household, and obviously it's a big part of your life now. That's how we know each other, brothers in Christ, at, you know, at the same church.
Yeah.
Just to wrap things up as a final question, you know, like just tell us a little bit about, I guess, where you're at with your faith in God, and sort of the future that you think He might have in store for you.
Yeah, I think so. I grew up in a Christian family. Like my mum and dad are Christians, and we would go to Korean sort of Presbyterian church growing up. So I always had I had faith, and I believed in God, but it did sort of when I was a child, I actually was probably like, when you're a child, you're probably at your most like,
faithful.
Yeah, weirdly, like, and least sinful, and you just like revere God so much.
It's a pure faith.
Yeah, it's a pure faith, right? Yeah. So I was one of those kids, and then you sort of get into high school, and I don't know, and then you sort of stop going to church, and you think you know everything about the world, and sort of probably similar things happened in uni. So I went to high school, dropped away, and then sort of went back again, and then dropped away again. So I've had this ebbs and flows, but I was sort of last year, or I think for a few years now, really, my mum was sort of asking me you should go back to church. Like, are you looking for any churches? Like, oh, I've got this church. Why don't you check that one out? Yeah. And then I was at work, and one of my colleagues, he's an orthopaedic surgeon, he's Simon, you know him, and we were just having dinner one day, and I found out I liked Simon already. Like, he was just like the really chill guy. Like, I could get along with him well. He's my senior, my boss, but we still sort of like really just like I didn't really feel that at all. Yeah. And he's just a really open kind of man, and a good man. I could just sense that, so I always liked him. But then I found out he was Christian, and we were just talking at dinner, and I was like, he was like, oh, you should sort of come along. And he had a friend over, Kevin, and they both invited me along, and I was actually kind of looking for churches at the time.
Is that Kevin Rowland?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a legend.
Shout out to Kevin.
Yeah.
And then I did some Bible studies with them and Mike Howe. So Simon Huda Barrett, Kevin Rowland, Mike Howe.
All legends. I mean, I haven't actually met Simon much. I've met his son, but Mike Howe was in the church here in Adelaide.
Yeah, he came here, didn't he?
Elder of the church, and he's just a great guy.
And I think he's visiting in next month or something like that. Anyway, yeah, he's a great guy. And shout out to all of them if they're watching.
Come on.
God bless yous. And then I think they just... It was good to, because I'd been calling myself a Christian for like ever. Yeah. Even though I wasn't really doing Christian things at all. Like I was very much into, you know, the rock star kind of lifestyle, going out with your mates, drinking, girls, whatever, like all that kind of stuff. But you know, but then I was just so I wasn't really a Christian, but I was calling myself Christian. And then I found out, like, they were teaching me how to. We were reading the Bible together, basically, and I just was astounded that I hadn't actually really read much of the Bible. I might have read like I don't know, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, or something like, you know, bits of, and John, bits of those here and there. But I hadn't really read
the deeper stuff, I reckon. Yeah, because I was the same.
And I
for
hadn't
sure.
really, even those books, I hadn't really gone into them and studied them very well, and not really in an academic way.
Yeah.
And so they taught me to do that, and that's when I was like, I really need to sort of keep going with this, and build on this, because you know, I was reading it and I was like, there's some good stuff here.
Yeah.
And then further to that, like I was developing a relationship with God, with Jesus, and I think I was reading my mum's study Bible, like, and so it was the Bible she gave me, and she's written notes in it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like I was reading those notes, and so it's like almost like she was communicating with me and God and Jesus, and it was just this lovely kind of thing. And I felt really, sometimes I'd read it and I'd read some of her notes and I'd get emotional, you know.
Wow.
And
that's really cool. I've never really heard of that happening before, but that's
yeah.
really
So
cool.
it's her study Bible, and she's got her annotations in it, where she's like highlighted it and made little notes on the side. And so reading it's just it was really special. And so it was multifactorial, and that's how, like, now I think I'm as strong as I have been in my faith because of those reasons.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And I think I foresee, to answer your second half of your question, that in the next 5 years, hopefully that just continues.
Yeah.
It's still a challenge day to day. Like, you know, being a new disciple, I think, can be challenging sometimes, and you still fall into sin. Like, I still do sinful things, and you know, have to speak about that and speak to others about that. But like, I hope that sort of, as my relationship grows, those sort of those things can sort of get less and less, and I just want to sort of just keep moving forward in that direction. And I think ultimately it will, you know, make me a better person, better you know, it'll better my relationship with others, and I think it's strengthened my relationship with my parents. Not that I had always had a really good relationship with it, and I didn't think it would get stronger, but it has.
Come on.
And
that's great.
I think they share that as well, and so I think because it's really important to have that. I think it's pretty important to have that same shared faith, and I think they've sort of as a married couple, they've been able to focus on God really, and that's sort of instilled good values in their life, and that's run off on me, and so hopefully in the future I can do the same as well from that respect. And so I think I don't know what else really to say, but it's this sort of last year has been it's been sort of really where I've started to pick it up a little bit more. Yeah. And really has been the best year of my life, I reckon. On. Like, and that's, you know, I think I've been fortunate because I haven't really had too many tough things in my life, but they'll come, sure. Yeah. And, you know, I think, you know, everyone's journey is different, but that's just how my sort of journey with faith has gone about. And some people have had some really rock bottom moments that have brought them to faith. And, you know, sometimes this is the story. This is how sometimes your faith goes as well. But and
I think just on that, like, that's something that's been on my mind a little bit recently. Sometimes if people aren't necessarily the underdog or have had to face immense adversity, it can look so different. Yeah. You know, like sometimes it's death by 1,000 cuts. Yeah. In certain ways. Yeah. Yeah. You know, even though you studying medicine would be perceived by the majority of society as, wow, that's a positive thing. Not many people do that.
Yeah.
You're right up here academically and doing a job that's obviously, people think of it as like, well paid, and you got to be really smart to do it. But at the same time, it's not easy to go through that. So even though someone might be making a lot of poor choices or have a lot of loss, or it can kind of be a bit glamorized, those things. Actually, once they work through it, it's like, wow, you went through so much to get there. But it's not, I think that shouldn't undermine, head in the books. Like,
absolutely.
There's moments where you would have had to have found motivation. You would have made a lot of sacrifice. And so I think people like you, it shouldn't be like, oh, you had it easy. If anything, like, and I appreciate that early on in, this, you spoke about you were given so many opportunities. So if you didn't take them, that would have been the failure. But I think there's still a challenge in that.
Absolutely.
Because you didn't take the easy road.
No,
You took the hard path. Gave golf a crack. Didn't quite work out. You're still a great golfer, which is great. But you're doing something that's a huge purpose and really meaningful. So
I think you touch on those hard, like there is a lot of sacrifice. And I think if you spoke to any of the doctors, like they'd tell you what they've sacrificed in their life to get there. A lot of doctors, like not just, but they've had that sacrifice, and I'll have that still for a couple of years to come. But I think having that faith will make me stronger in that. And
come on.
Yeah, I think it's just a blessing that it's sort of it has happened, and I'm so grateful, really. That, like I don't know. I think doctors. I'm not trying to say my journey was easy, because it was hard. Like getting to where I had to get to, like there was lots of tears. Like being an orthopaedic surgeon, trying to become an orthopaedic surgeon is very competitive, and not many people get selected. So, and you have to sacrifice a lot. And I'm lucky. I have my faith to fall back on now. And
come on.
Not that, like, there's all doctors that are of all different faiths, and they do an immense job, and they've sacrificed a lot. And as a community of doctors, we help each other a lot out. So that's awesome. I think that's another beautiful thing as well about medicine, is that people come from all different walks of life, no matter what your sort of, your religion is, or what your sexual orientation is, or like there's plenty of doctors out there, but we all band together to really try to just help our patients. And and in my eyes, that's a beautiful thing. And I've got sort of an added part to that, because I think that's it's kind of what my faith would want as well.
Show love, man, and without love we've got nothing. So honestly, mate, it's been such an honor just to have you on. I love doing this, and I've loved the last 6 months, you being here in Adelaide. It's kind of interesting timing. We're about to have a farewell party for you right here at my place, which is another, real privilege to send you off. And I speak for the whole Adelaide church and community that you've been involved with here. You've just been an absolute legend in every way. You've always just been down to hang out, play a bit of golf, go out for a feed. Obviously the Maroons, we didn't quite get to talk about it. We don't have to say anything, mate.
It's all right.
We've got the trophy for another year.
Absolutely.
They wrote us off, and you never write the Maroons off. The minute you write them off, you've actually written them into the history books.
That's exactly right. No, it was a good win. I don't know how we won, because they had an amazing team, but the Queensland spirit.
Dearden. Plenty of the boys just, Papali'i out of retirement pretty much.
Absolutely,
So, but honestly, bro.
Thanks so much, man.
Thanks for jumping on. It's,
Thank you as well. Like, just this 6 months been in Adelaide, just been a good mate, and just having someone to talk to, and the whole church really. Just it's
a good community.
It's a good community, and great people. Your parents as well, your brothers, the whole church people. They're all amazing people. I think I was saying before, 6 months is kind of just enough time where you can form some good relationships.
Yeah.
And just enough time to feel sad, and It is a bit sad to leave, but I'm sure we'll see each other again in the future. And honestly, it's just lots of love in my heart for you guys. Only love, actually, and I'll look back and with fond memories, and whatever's in plan for us, I'm sure it will cross over. So
come on,
thank you, brother. Much love.
No worries, bro. Well, that's another episode, mate.
That's it. And subscribe.
Thank you, bro. And honestly, you've got a second home. Well, probably a third home now. Brisbane, Newcastle, and Adelaide. So that was the story of Songy, bro. Thank you for tuning in for another episode, and all glory to the Almighty. Let's go.
I think this language is universal.
Oh, good.
I think this language is universal. I think this language is universal.
Respect the IMD embroidery.
I think this language Hey, I'm back on my hot step. I'm most of the Loch Ness. I'm most of like the middle of the octagon sponsor. You hear conspiracies about the M being not just an M, but some devil worshipping type of construct. Don't know about it. Lot of reaches these days. More reach than the reach brain. Cleaning up your teeth. More reach than needed, like the Dissect podcast. More reach than my social media when I be posting some bullshit. But when I post the shit, I'm needing people to see. It's a whole lot of Z's. Eyes might as well be shut. I might as well get in the might of 10 wearing a hard fit just to share hardware and some hardware. Got them like, oh yeah, bars fam, nah fam. Sin bin your ass band, go and cool off. Sit right there in front of a large fan. I sit in front of fans, my wrist be too jammed from signing that shit. Nah, not quite yet, but it's building. It's coming like you're running up a cliff. I ain't saying nothing like a lemon running.